CTV News with Carlyle Fiset.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We begin tonight with a warning from local health officials. A surge in flu cases has come early. They say infections are spreading rapidly, leading to rising hospitalization rates. Brian Bicknell reports.
Pharmacist Scott Coulter says vaccinations started out busy this season but have tapered off. He says he expects interest to grow once again as influenza cases spike.
Absolutely. People are responding to the news, no doubt about that. They're responding to the fact that their friends and loved ones are getting very sick with the flu as well.
According to the Middlesex London Health Unit, there were 150 cases of influenza in the first week of December for a total of 486 so far this season. There were 39 new hospitalizations, and the positivity rate was nearly 30% of those tested.
We're starting to see an earlier rise in the number of influenza cases compared to last year, for example. And so we're having increasing cases week after week, and we've been noticing this for the last several weeks now.
The head of Children's Emerge at LHSC says children are often affected first by the flu, and right now that is putting a strain on Children's Emerge.
And we've seen up to almost 200 patients in a day. Mostly with flu-like symptoms. So we've definitely felt the impact of the flu this year, like we do every year.
Dr. Lim says those most vulnerable include patients being treated for serious illness or elderly patients. For that reason, LHSC is asking people to wear a mask in clinical areas. Situation is essentially the same in neighboring Elgin and Oxford counties, where public health officials are warning of a very high influenza risk. Infectious disease manager Joanne Andrews says congregate settings have been impacted by the early surge.
And we're seeing that impact not only hospitalizations, but also outbreaks in our long-term care home and retirement homes. So right now in Southwestern Public Health Region, we have 5 facilities that have an influenza A outbreak.
Health officials say they expect a peak by late December in the middle of the holiday season, so it's not too late to get your shot.
We anticipate this to continue for a few more weeks as we enter a peak of influenza activity.
We hope to see as many people vaccinated as possible. We're certainly prepared if that happens.
Brian Bicknell, CTV News.
London City councillors may impose new requirements on local homeless shelters in their funding agreements called good neighbor clauses.
I heard really loud and clear that a good neighbor clause is something that they'd like us to really be moving forward with.
A motion by Councillor Susan Stevenson paused approval for a new funding framework for housing stability services. The 5-week delay will let city staff meet with councillors about adding these good neighbor clauses into contracts with shelters and frontline agencies. Stevenson says the clauses would ensure agencies comply with City Hall's expectations when it comes to garbage and noise concerns.
It's something that's been talked about in Old East Village since I was elected, where there's an agreement, a signed agreement with the agencies to help mitigate some of the issues that happen surrounding their establishments.
A political push to close a loophole in London's renoviction bylaw failed to gain traction at City Hall this afternoon.
London is asking us, demanding us to do something. This is the most cost-effective way to stop homelessness.
The last thing we need to do as a city is to allow our bylaws to sit when they need to be fixed.
London's bylaw requires landlords obtain a license from City Hall before evicting a tenant if their apartment is being renovated. However, the rules do not apply when a landlord intends to transform the apartment into commercial space. Councillor David Ferreira wanted to close that loophole, but his motion was defeated. Other councillors stated those changes went too far.
I think this is doing a disservice to landlords. I think we've pushed them as far as we can with the renoviction bylaw, and I think we've gone as far as we can. And I have spoken to landlords who've told me this.
Sarnia police say they've made multiple arrests, carrying out several search warrants early this morning across the city and Lambton County. In a media release, police say several tactical units were involved in what was a planned operation following a large Sarnia police-led drug investigation. A police command post vehicle was at various locations around the city and as far away as Corunna and the Aamjiwnaang First Nation. Police did not specify how many arrests were made, only saying the investigation also resulted in seizures and charges. London police say they've charged a teenage boy after a weapons call at a high school yesterday. According to police, officers were called to Clark Road Secondary around 10 a.m. for reports of a boy with a gun. Police say the suspect was arrested at a nearby plaza and a replica gun was seized. They say he's charged with concealing a weapon, with a court appearance set for next month. An outspoken advocate for magic mushrooms was handed a $10,000 fine today. Samir Akila was found guilty of psilocybin possession for the purpose of trafficking earlier this year. He was arrested after London police raided the Fun Guys location on Richmond Street in June 2023. Akila had argued the laws against magic mushroom use violated freedom of thought, but that argument failed. London Catholic School Board trustees have voted to discontinue transportation for several non-funded programs, citing a multi-million-dollar shortfall. As Rita Ismail reports, that means students in specialty programs could soon be without a ride to school.
I am not in favor.
That is carried.
By a vote of 5-3, the London District Catholic School Board made the decision to discontinue all transportation services for non-funded specialty programs. That includes busing for the choir and orchestra program at St. Mary's, the IB program at Catholic Central Secondary, and the music extension program at CCH.
This would result in catastrophic consequences that would severely compromise the integrity of the program. Busing ensured that students' ability to participate was determined by interest and talent and was not based on family resources or geography.
None of these programs are funded, and the transportation associated with them is not funded. So the students that attend are a very privileged few.
For Paulina Bambursky, whose child attends St. Mary's, she was hoping that parents were given a voice, but says unfortunately they feel they were blindsided.
To say that our kids are privileged to attend this school seems to diminish all the hard work they put into it. Are all other children that go to Catholic School Board privileged to get safe transportation to their school?
Others argue the cost is too high.
For transportation alone, these costs are unsustainable and divert scarce resources away from local schools.
An amendment was introduced by trustee Sandra Cruz to use reserve funds to maintain transportation.
Having no busing will have devastating effects on the music program, with the possibility of a mass exit of students either early next year or failing to return in September.
The amendment was supported by 2 other trustees, but ultimately it was voted against. Steele says, unfortunately, due to the ballooning deficit, there will be more cuts coming in the new year.
Definitely going to have to look at the $11 million. We're overpaying for special education now, and we're looking at cuts in all areas.
Despite the pushback, the board says the changes will take effect in September of 2026. Rita Ismail, CTV News.
The federal government has announced a funding boost for 3 local manufacturing companies. Jerry Dewan has more on the money and the ongoing efforts to weather the tariff storm.
Just over $5 million will be distributed to 3 companies to help them grow and diversify.
Today is simply not about an investment, it's about confidence in Canadian manufacturing and innovation.
The FedDev Ontario funding announcement was made at Hydrodyne Technology in Ingersoll. Hydrodyne received $2 million. With a staff of about 180 people, the company makes hydraulic components for heavy-duty off-road equipment. Hydrodyne leadership say they will be able to expand operations with an eye on advanced manufacturing. CEO Stephen Bonner says more than 95% of what they make gets exported. And while their parts aren't the cheapest, he says they provide the highest value to the customer.
The ownership to that customer at the end were way cheaper than our competitors due to lower failure rates longer lasting.
Deputy House Leader and London West MP Ariel Kayabaga made the funding announcement and again emphasized the need to open new markets for businesses facing tariff pressures.
We're going to continue to support and walk with them to make sure that they actually can get to the other side and survive this challenging tariff war that we're in.
$2.5 million of the FedDev money will be going to Transfer Future Co. here in Tillsonburg, their supply chain specialists. They used the money to build a fully integrated Ontario-based crop protection supply chain. Melnick Resources in Mount Bridges has received $530,000. A longtime custom metal fabricator, they now focus on housings for digital displays of all kinds. They say the money will allow them to grow their 16-member team.
We are able to increase our manufacturing capabilities, the precision, our tolerances, the speed at which we manufacture. We've just installed and brought on board a state-of-the-art laser cutter.
Bonner says it's critical the government continue to focus on effective immigration policies to help businesses grow.
The opportunities are here. We just have to be able to grab them and take them.
In Ingersoll, Jerry DeWan, CTV News.
Stellantis officials say they've hired more than 1,000 people for their planned third shift at the Windsor assembly plant. They say on top of the new hires, roughly 250 workers are transferring to Windsor from the plant in Brampton. They had previously said they would need 1,500 people for a third shift, which is expected to launch in the new year. Officials say the added shift is about meeting demand for Dodge Chargers and Chrysler minivans. A man from Woodstock says he was recently detained while trying to enter the United States, prompting a warning for travelers that's happening more often. With more on the numbers and what's behind them, here's Heather Wright.
This is North America's busiest border crossing, the Ambassador Bridge, which connects Windsor and Detroit. It's where Greg Williams was detained by U.S. Border Patrol last month as he tried to enter the United States with his wife and dad.
And then it was turn the car off, hands on the dash, and within seconds, there were 15 agents surrounding the car.
Williams says he was handcuffed and taken into a small room inside the nearby building. He was photographed and fingerprinted before ever knowing why he was being detained.
I wasn't worrying about being sent to some, Ecuadorian supermax, which is very much white privilege of me, that it's like I don't have to worry about those things. But that's also like nobody should.
Turns out there's another Greg Williams with some sort of a record that prompted the detention of this Greg Williams, an Ontario musician.
This happened because I have the same name, and that's crazy.
Williams was released after a couple of hours, but his story highlights the growing number of Canadians being caught up in the immigration crackdown underway south of the border. More than 200 Canadians have spent time in ICE custody at some point since January, compared with 137 detained in 2024. Records show at least 6 children were among those detained. While a handful of Canadians had felony convictions or other criminal records, the vast majority were picked up for visa violations or less serious infractions, which experts say marks a major shift in policy.
For the most part, from what I've seen, we're looking at very minor criminal infractions, but sufficient to attract the radar of U.S. enforcement.
Experts say in the past, Canadians would have been denied entry into the United States or sent back to Canada, but are being detained more frequently.
Heather Wright, CTV News.
Salvation Army leaders say they're well below their fundraising targets this season, struggling to find staff for their Christmas kettles. Sean Irvin has more on their appeal for volunteers 9 days out from Christmas.
Volunteers no longer ring bells as they stand alongside Salvation Army Christmas kettles in London. But that doesn't mean volunteers like Gord Brown don't make every effort to be holly and jolly.
I get to wish a lot of people a Merry Christmas.
Gord has been volunteering at this grocery store for over a decade.
It does give you a good feeling, know that you're helping some of the people in the community that really need help.
But this year, there just aren't enough people like Gord to go around. More than 50% of available shifts at kettles have not been filled. And when that happens, donations drop dramatically.
We are probably halfway to our goal right now.
Last year, $580,000 was raised to support primarily Salvation Army Christmas programs.
Without those funds, things like this just wouldn't be possible. We're expecting to serve 5,500 children this Christmas, and it's just vital for us to be able to get those funds to be able to do that.
While Gord and his wife commit 25 hours a year to Kettles, anyone who can offer 2 hours or more is encouraged to sign up online. Kettles are placed at more than 40 locations.
I think once you do it once, you get hooked and you enjoy the experience. They meet lots of wonderful people. They always hear stories about why people are giving.
I always go home with a nice feeling. People are so friendly, and so it makes me feel good too. It makes me feel more like Christmas. Thank you. Merry Christmas to you.
In London, Sean Irvin, CTV News.
When we come back, the latest from Australia. New information on the father and son suspects and the possible motivation behind their Hanukkah celebration attacks. Canada's main stock index was weighed down by losses in the energy sector. The TSX fell 220 points in New York. The Dow lost 302. The Nasdaq gained 54. Canadian dollar was up 0.14 of a cent. On commodity markets, gold dropped almost $3 an ounce. Oil fell $1.54 a barrel. Australian investigators say they've linked this past weekend's Hanukkah attack to ISIS. The Prime Minister says the suspects, a father and son, were influenced by the Islamic State. With more on the latest evidence, here's Judy Trent.
Before the mass shooting began, dashcam video reveals how a couple confronted one of the Bondi Beach attackers. They tried to wrestle away his gun. Boris Gurman and his wife Sophia were among the 15 people killed.
It would appear that there is evidence that this was inspired by a terrorist organisation, by ISIS.
Homemade Islamic State flags were visible in the suspect's car. Authorities also found improvised explosive devices in the vehicle. 50-year-old Sajid Akram was killed by police. His 24-year-old son was also shot and in hospital. Police say father and son traveled to the Philippines in November and are trying to find out why.
Specifically, who were they interacting with in Mindanao, which is known to be an ISIS stronghold. In fact, ISIS had tried to carve out an independent state there some years ago. Still known to be active, still doing training there. Who exactly were these two individuals from Australia interacting with there?
The Akram's home in a Sydney suburb was searched. Police said the father, Sajid, had licenses for 6 firearms. Australian media is reporting that his son, Naveed, was investigated in 2019 for ties to an ISIS cell, but deemed a non-threat. Meanwhile, a menorah lights up Sydney's Opera House as grief grows at a memorial on Bondi Beach. 2 rabbis and a Holocaust survivor are among the dead. The youngest victim was a 10-year-old girl named Matilda.
Matilda's mother called me and say, Matilda died. And I couldn't even repeat this word at the time. I say, what? What? I asked him many times. I was thinking it's bad reception. I don't hear something well. And afterward, I started screaming.
There are growing anti-Semitic incidents across the globe. A Canadian intelligence assessment done after the Bondi Beach attack found that there is no credible threat to Jewish holiday events in this country. But a violent act by lone actors is a possibility. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
Good evening. Temperatures have warmed up. It's not quite as cold, that's for sure, as it was this time last night. Temperatures will be hovering near the freezing mark overnight. We could see some patchy freezing drizzle in the Bruce Peninsula through the overnight and early in the morning. In London, just some cloud cover to contend with. Thanks, Tracy, for this photo of Otis. Otis looks like he loves the snow. Heading out in the morning, 2 degrees, winds out of the southwest. Mainly cloudy conditions to start, but we could see some peaks of sunshine before the sun sets. Tracking a weather system for Thursday with rain, gusty winds, and mild temperatures. I'll have all your local weather details coming up in just a few minutes.
It's time to build a toy mountain. Make this holiday season merry for so many kids. Bring new unwrapped toys to CF Masonville Place.
All in support of the Salvation Army. We will be collecting donations November 21st to December 24th.
With all donations helping families right here in our community.
Toy Mountain, supported by Gomez Appliances, London Bass Center, and UBC Built Local 1946.
Let's make this the best Toy Mountain ever. Visit ctvlondon.ca for more ways to donate.
Welcome back with Julie Atchison on the desk now, looking ahead to, well, the first time we've said rain in a while in the forecast for this week as the temperatures really shifting.
Yeah, temperatures will come up well above the freezing mark, and the next weather system has a southerly flow to it. It's some Pacific moisture that's going to make its way across the country, and it will arrive at our area as we head into Thursday afternoon. But today was a bit of a change in terms of our daytime high, so we've been cold and dealing with some bitterly cold wind chills. Tonight, that's not the case. Temperatures are rebounding, and we'll see our temperature hold steady overnight coming up, actually. So -1 to the freezing mark as we push toward 3 to 4 a.m. You can see our overnight low last night coming in a bit below. So satellite radar showing some light precipitation to the north. There is the risk for some patchy freezing drizzle toward the Bruce Peninsula overnight. The rest of the region, just some cloud cover to contend with. So we'll bottom out just after midnight, and then as we push towards 2 to 3 a.m., temperatures start to come up, and by sunrise, we'll be at around 2 degrees. As we go out 48 hours, I wanted to show you a little weak front comes through tomorrow, and this forecast model is indicating some very light precipitation around sunrise in the morning. So keeping an eye on that, you can see this is some freezing drizzle in eastern Middlesex and Oxford County, so in and around Woodstock. So first thing in the morning, if you have to head out to commute to work, just be aware of that. The rest of the day, just overcast. And then as we head into tomorrow evening, some breaks in the cloud cover. So we could get some peaks of sunshine as we head into your Wednesday afternoon. This is your Thursday weather system, and that's rain. You can see this is Thursday at 4 o'clock. So the bulk of that rain could hold off until later in the day Thursday. So just overcast conditions to start the day Thursday, with rain on the way Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening. A cold front will be associated with this weather system, so we're going to see a big swing in our temperature. We're going to go way up with the rainfall, and then a cold front will smash its way through, and then the temperatures will drop, which could lead to some freezing and icing over on area roads. So especially Friday morning, keep that in mind as you head out in terms of people traveling this time of year and doing all your last minute stuff. 4 degrees with a few breaks in the cloud cover heading into tomorrow afternoon. So a break from the bitterly cold temperatures. We're up to +6 on Thursday. Showers expected in the afternoon, and then the cold front crosses with flurries and gusty winds. The high -1 on Friday. Saturday, still the chance for flurries at 0. Sunday, mainly cloudy. Monday, some breaks of sunshine, 0 to +1. But daytime highs, this is where we should be for this time of year in the area, 0 to +1, not feeling like -20. So we battle out of that bitterly cold air, and we see some milder temperatures move in. But with that, we'll pay a price with some rainfall coming in. So that's going to take care of those really high snowbanks and likely lead to some very messy road conditions, especially as all that snow starts to melt. 5 degrees. -1 with snow squalls in Midwestern Ontario for your Friday. We could see some very rough road conditions develop. If you are traveling, please check the latest weather watches and warnings for your county. We will likely see some localized snow squalls develop Friday into Saturday. So travel could become quite treacherous on those areas to the north. -1 on Sunday with some light flurries, mainly cloudy Monday into Tuesday. Daytime highs from -1 to 0. I'm signing off a bit early this year for the holidays, so I won't be back until the new year, but I will be back. So have a wonderful and safe holiday with all of your friends. Enjoy some peaceful time with your friends and family, and hopefully sharing some love and laughter. I'll see you next year.
Cheers, Julie. The city of Stratford is opening its first 24/7 warming center tomorrow, which local agencies say is much needed. Jeff Pickle has more on the impact officials hope to make when there are no other options available.
So we don't cook meals here, but we will heat up meals. You can see we have bread and we have lots of donations of food.
It's a quiet space in a church basement.
We have totes here where people can keep some of their belongings if they're comfortable doing that.
But to those in Stratford without a home, it's much more.
It's turned out to be such a really vital piece of Stratford, bringing services to the most vulnerable where they are at the time that they need it.
Born in the pandemic when homelessness began to swell in communities across Canada, the Connection Centre on Juro Street was a place of daytime refuge.
we weren't even sure kind of how many people we were going to see or what was going to happen, and we now see at least 40 people a day.
Because numbers continue to rise, the space will now be open all night for those needing an escape from the cold.
So really it is meant for people who have literally nowhere else to go, right? So the people that are living unsheltered and don't have a home or somewhere else warm to be.
Now organizers say while the warming center will be open all night, every night, it's important to make the distinction that this is not a shelter.
So to have a shelter, a bedded shelter, the legislation is different. The insurance requirements are different as well. And so that's why we chose to do a warming center as opposed to do an overnight shelter.
The opening of the warming center comes as the city faces public criticism for its lack of options for people living rough.
I think it's the right response to the size of our city for sure, and it's a place to come in and recharge your batteries, to get a full meal, to wash your clothes.
Mayor Martin Ritzma says this collaboration between the city, United Way, CMHA, and local churches is the perfect community response.
So this is a community response to a challenge that all communities have across the province, across Canada. It's a global problem, but it's a made in Stratford solution.
The warming center officially opens overnight tomorrow. Jeff Pickle, CTV News, Stratford.
Finally tonight, a maritime craftsman with an appreciation for the ornate. And as Sarah Plowman reports, at this time of the year, he's at his busiest.
Ornaments can hold meaning, spark memories or thoughts of loved ones. Behind each one made here is Curtis Dion, a master glass blower.
It's kind of a lost art. There's very few people doing it in Canada.
The holidays bring in a lot of orders. He sometimes crafts more than 100 ornaments a day.
We do the hummingbird, the dragonfly, the bumblebee. We do a mushroom. We do a pickle.
Each demands precision and practice. Like dipping a spoon into a pot of honey, Dion dips a blowpipe into a furnace of molten glass, twirls it, and rolls it in color.
And then we're going to hold it upwards and compress a little bit of air into the pipe so that a bubble starts to emerge.
Like a dance, Dion and his assistant move quickly. Owen Steele has perfected the last touch, the hook.
And while I'm doing it, I'm also sort of in that meditative, almost Zen state.
In high demand this year is the pickle.
I'm giving it as a gift.
That comes with a game of hide and seek.
Whoever hides the pickle has a special gift, and whoever finds the pickle receives the gift.
Heather Rogers is after a snowflake.
I just feel like they're unique and they're handcrafted.
Each ornament is a chance to share a piece of his passion and connect to the community.
I think the ornaments that people put on their trees become part of like a lasting memory, you know, part of their tradition, and it gives us the opportunity to become a bit of a household name.
Adding his touch to a family's tradition. Sarah Plowman, CTV News, St. John.
And that's it for us. Thanks for watching. For all of us at CTV News London, I'm Carlyle Fiset. Have a good night.